Registered Phenomena Code 311. Object Class Alpha Yellow. Hazard Types: Radiation Hazard, Info Hazard, Auditory Hazard, Emotional Hazard, Ideological Hazard, Visual Hazard. Containment Protocols: RPC-311 artworks are contained at OL Site-311. Personnel on-site are to wear Level A hazmat protection at all times. A radiological shield is to encompass RPC-311-B and RPC-311-L to nullify their nuclear effects. Description: RPC-311 is a collection of artworks designed by an artist under the pseudonym Fernández. While the majority of RPC-311 instances were created with non-anomalous base materials, the liquid solutions used on the surface or inside of the artwork, gelatin or paint, contain trace anomalous metamaterials. Due to this, each exhibit unique anomalous properties. Exceptions exist in instances made from organic materials, which are exceptionally resilient to entropy. RPC-311 instances preserve anachronistic elements that contrast with their appearance. Radiocarbon dating of pigment and dye samples date back between 2220 to 1560 BC. Despite hypotheses put forward on the nature of its temporal displacement, researchers remain divided on the motivating factor behind the construction of RPC-311 instances. Attempts at removing RPC-311 instances is impossible due to an unknown property, which permanently fixes them in place. Acquisition: On February 12, 1982, a radio station called Paranormal Inc. were notified of an anomalous art exhibition by a caller. ACI operatives received this intel via wiretaps, and were dispatched to the location in Austin, Texas, at Eastern Standard Time. Upon investigation of the premises, operatives spotted graffiti marking a slide door that led into the storage unit, which read, Exhibit Infinity. Operatives persuaded the local utility manager to unlock the paddock to the door to enter and examine the contents. They discovered that there was a breach spanning several meters into the ground. The contents interred below were partially obscured by white fabric, with certain objects inflicting a diverse set of minor visual and auditory anomalies on those presently viewing them. Promptly thereafter, a Containment Division detail was called to quarantine the area. Further inspection revealed that the 25-meter by 25-meter by 30-meter holding area, retroactively designated RPC-311-1, was constructed with organically hardened walls. The composition was comparable to substances found in organic RPC-311 instances. Partitions, of the same make, segregate spaces for individual displays. Researchers believe that this architecture specifically allows for the containment of highly volatile content. Addendum: RPC-311 instances are categorized from RPC-311-A to RPC-311-M. The following are divided by placards that outline rooms where installments were categorized. Screen pictures have been provided for safe viewing. Sub-Exhibit: Normalcy. Title: Sunday. Description: RPC-311-A is a painting that depicts a sunrise over acres of ranch land, with a chapel situated at the center. The frame is trimmed with golden regalia, tangles of trees, rose vines, wildflowers, and apples, matching flora found in the Tigris and Euphrates. These elements are composed to fit an Art Nouveau aesthetic. Depicted in the background is a sun with an obfuscated face, which blurs depending on where the viewer is situated from left to right. Title: Monday. Description: RPC-311-B is a postcard that depicts the Hall Estate, located in Dallas, Dallas County, Texas. RPC-311-B emits a constant flux of radiation between 400 to 6,000 millisieverts every hour at a radius of 15 centimeters. A self-nullification property allows RPC-311-B to resist damages incurred by both radiation and temperature. RPC-311b is consistently wet and is covered in a layer of contaminated condensation. Pollutants include cesium, strontium, and iodine. Subjects that view the multicolored skyline for over several minutes will hear the sounds of tides and explosions. Audible beeps, similar to electronic dosimeters, have been observed in the background. Title: Tuesday. Description: RPC-311c is an acrylic painting that separates into 3 partitions when viewed by 3 or more individuals. The top portion ascends to the ceiling, and the bottom descends to the floor. A part ceases movement when it collides into a foreign surface. Subjects that view the sections that contain the water note the appearance of face-down bodies. Samples scraped from this section contain human cells that possess no apparent genomic markers. RPC-311c resets to its initial form when not viewed. Title: Wednesday. Description: RPC-311d is a photograph. RPC-311d consists of a transparent fungal film base that is coated in an anomalous gelatin composition, made from a non-standard emulsification technique. When inhaled, subjects experience effects similar to psilocybin. In 70% of all occurrences, subjects will begin to perceive the faces within the photo to move, articulating Genesis quotes from the Greek Orthodox Bible in unison. Particular alterations exist of 117 through 118, which read, "Then God put these lights on the earth, to rule day and night, and to be the very laws of the sun. Therefore, the seraphim were tasked in the separation of light from darkness, and time from absence. God looked at what he had done, and wept. Evening came, then morning, then the unnamable hours that were the seraphim." Title: Thursday. Description: RPC-311e is an abstract object, which was made from multiple firearms welded and warped together to match the appearance of a gravestone. Amniotic fluid leaked from small rifle barrels. 2 lists are shown side by side, with each containing the title Belligerents. Notably, these lists contain the names of World War II figures, such as Dwight D. Eisenhower and Erwin Rommel. Cross-evaluation of the list pinpointed the full names of several senior or ex-members of the Global Directorate. Blank dog tags decorate the bottom of this fixture. Further inspection reveals these dog tags to be made of teeth and bone. Title: Friday. Description: RPC-311f is a graphic illustration of a woman that moves and speaks via anomalous means. The woman appears to be in the interview setting, as evidenced by momentary pauses in her speech and facial gestures, which include winking or nodding to an individual out of view. While a replica of such a magazine cover, released in July 1945, exists in baseline reality, the date signified at the top of RPC-311f depicts date and time in an ISO 8601 and UTC template. RPC-311f has been censored for info-hazardous content. Linguists have translated strings of words stated in Portuguese from reading lip movements into excerpts, which range from advertisements, daytime radio dramas, excerpts from the Homage to Catalonia, excerpts from illustrated magazines under Mundo Grafico, segments of President Ronald Reagan's speech in West Berlin, nuclear launch code designations, non-anomalous orders of animals, and number designations of parazoological species. Initially, the latter was believed to be registered phenomena codes. Title: Saturday. Description: RPC-311g is an imitation of a human corpse, made from various animal parts. RPC-311g is encased in a glass container. The gastrointestinal system, made from pig intestines, exhibit a type of locomotion analogous to vermiform animals, and perpetually moves or slithers in circular rotations. Scrawled on the back of RPC-311g is the Authority emblem. Sub-Exhibit: Backroom. Title: Addendum. Description: RPC-311H is a calendar, with all the pages for months presenting the same landscape picture of an eclipsed sun situated over a facility that appears reminiscent of Site-002. Notably, for each month, 5 extra days have been appended to weeks, including Adana Day, Ho-Ham Day, and 3 days with scratched-off names. Red circles outline certain appended days, marked as Day of Rest in acrylic paint. Subjects that view RPC-311H describe a deep sense of unease and nostalgia for memories they cannot recall. Title: Ho-Ham Day. Description: RPC-311I is an incomplete almanac released under the Ministry of Malthusian Maxims. No known organization, or branch, has surface matching this exact designation for Malthusian sects. Over 81 out of 102 pages have been torn or eroded over time. In contrast with the baseline group of interest of the same namesake, the almanac describes the Society of Malthus as a global security apparatus against the paranormal. RPC-311I describes a phenomenon known as the Cycle of the Clandestine, which extrapolates on symptomatic patterns that led to the fall of civilizations. Stage 1. Characterized by disparate tribes of man that rise from a major pandemic or calamity. These tribal federations are highly volatile and are protective of their identities and nationhood. Eventually, they will either uncover or rediscover anomalous artifacts, and will utilize them in acts of warfare or diplomacy. Stage 2. Characterized by a unifying group that is made from separate tribal federations. Classified as a nation-state, this dominant organization will endeavor to obliterate extant tribal identities, domineer their people, separating designations of people in a caste system, and streamline a holistic identity for all to abide under. Interactions, boundaries, and rules for the utilization of the anomalous are realized in the stage. Stage 3. Characterized by the dominant group codifying religious traditions to guide constituents and consolidate power. These foundational tenets influence research, procedures, and containment specifications for anomalous artifacts. Furthermore, these cultural means progress into future permutations or sectarian division of the group. Stage 4. Not applicable. Content was either incomprehensible or removed. Stage 5. Not applicable. Content was either incomprehensible or removed. RPC-311I's activates when read by subjects with acute knowledge of the Authority. Subjects receive minor info-hazardous payloads, which influence their perception of history. They will broadly speculate on the missing pages, drawing contextual parallels to baseline Authority history, pseudo-histories. Specifically, RPC-313 has been referenced in theories of Stage 5 civilizations. Title: Unknown. Description: RPC-311J is a photograph of a tree. When viewed from skewed angles, subjects note that the tree is set ablaze. Subjects experience sensations of warmth, euphoria, and heightened libido. They will smell the scent of burnt fruit and rosemary. Title: Unknown. Description: RPC-311K is a regenerating organic sculpture of a naked female figure. In place of legs, the figure displays 7 serpentine appendages that terminate at fossilized reptilian heads. Each appendage is ambulatory. Specifically, heads move in V-shaped patterns and devour portions of RPC-311K. A 2-meter spear penetrates through the cranium and neck of the sculpture, exiting out of the pelvic region. Manichaean cuneiform is present on the blade, which roughly translates to Days of Rest, Seed of Storms, Survival Beyond the End. Title: Unknown. Description: RPC-311L is a series of highly resilient sculptures that depict entities similar in appearance to RPC-311K. They are positioned underneath a large mass of corium that expands indefinitely from its core. RPC-311L sculptures possess concave holes that span large sections of their faces, which collect outpouring corium. It is theorized that the holes demonstrate a form of spatial anomaly that stores molten deposits. Sub-Exhibit New Normal. Title: Sunday. Description: RPC-311-M is a painting that depicts a sunrise over acres of ranch land, with a chapel built on top of a ruined structure. There is no frame. Depicted in the background is an indented black hole. A viscous black liquid drips from its circular rim via unknown means, and colors the contents below it in shades of auburn and incarnadine red. Subjects viewing it experience minor paranoia from what they describe as faces perceived within the void. Cameras have been unable to detect such descriptions.